All right. So a very warm good afternoon or good morning, depending upon the time zone you are in. My name is Kuldeep Thakre. I'm the senior strategist at Enalito, and I'm very happy to welcome our panelists today at the North America D2c Brand Summit 2021. Without further ado, let me quickly make a formal introduction of our panelists. First, we have on the panel is Stephen Bock. Stephen is the founder and chairman of Swapnos Inc., based out of Massachusetts. And Stephen has wide experience. And to begin with, I would like to give a brief introduction about Stephen. Stephen is a business leader with deep board experience and a long and successful track record driving growth of early stage and established companies through creative new business model, brand, and business development strategies. He has led wide range of companies with an emphasis on multi-channel direct marketing, software, and retail and consumer product. His current focus is on starting, investing in, and taking an active role with early stage businesses. And among his career highlights are like he has 20 plus years of experience in the executive role, working as CEO, president of public and private companies. And he has been a partner of a private equity firm and has legal experience, including working as a partner in a law firm specializing in M&A and securities work, including representation of variety of investment vehicles. And he has graduated from Harvard Law School. Stephen's new venture, Swapnos, is reimagining customization and communication through multimedia consumer products. Stephen, welcome to the panel. Great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kuldeep. Good to be here.
Thank you. Then we have Austin Speck on the panel with us. Austin is the Chief Executive Officer of Titan Brands. And Austin Speck is a growth-oriented executive serving as the CEO of Titan Brand. And Titan Brands made the 2021 INC 5000 list and is recognized as one of the top 30 fastest growing e-commerce companies with over 2,500 unique product offering spread across 4 individual brands such as Titan Fitness, Titan Attachments, Titan Outdoors, and Titan Rams. And Austin was a part of the executive leadership program at the Stanford University Graduate School of Business. And prior to joining Titan Brand, Austin has worked for 2 Fortune 100 companies where he rapidly climbed the corporate ladder. And he has a proven track record spanning over a decade. And he relies on quick results, profitable growth, having various experiences in multifunctional roles such as finance, sales, marketing, and organizational management. And Austin, great to have you on the panel. And it's great. Let's have the next 35 minutes of Q&A. So my first question, and let me begin with probably Stephen. Stephen, you have done a lot in your life, and as an entrepreneur, as an academic, I mean, you have played several hats. I would like to know, what is that one important learning or that you had over these years that you would like to share with our audience to begin with?
Oh, great. Start with an easy question. So the one learning, I would say the one learning is, since I've crossed over a number of different careers, or as my wife likes to think, I can't hold a job, but that's different. It's really understanding and becoming expert in what you're doing. So as I went from law to private equity to running businesses, it was really to get immersed and really understand what those different positions meant and how to really be good at it. So really having a deep understanding, being knowledgeable, has been an important takeaway.
Mm-hmm. Wow, interesting. Very, very interesting. So lot of questions will be coming to that moving forward. Let me quickly go to Austin also. And Austin, you have also in your entire career so far, you have done and wore several hats. What is that one piece of learning that you would like to share or that you think is the most important skill or learning that has helped you in this career progression? What is that? It's difficult.
Yeah, I guess I would say that, being able to adapt to change. I mean, the world is ever changing, and being able to adapt to that, and then surrounding yourself with good people. I mean, that's in my mind, the key to success in really any role.
Wow, excellent. Adaption and flexibility. Excellent. This is why I asked this question, because I think both of you have done tremendously well. I mean, you have already have ventured into several things, and I think because this is something that an early stage entrepreneur or someone who wants to venture into business would need to learn, that they have to be agile. They need to think about where they are heading, and basically they need to have that vision in order to achieve that, because I think building a business is a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So gentlemen, moving forward, I would like to ask this next question is, like, you have your Titan brand, and Austin, you have got Swapnose. What is your vision for Swapnose for the next 10 years? I'm not asking 5 years or 1 year. I'm asking 10 years, because great businesses require time to build. So what is your long-term vision for the next 10 years for Swapnose, Austin?
Swap-ons.
Yeah.
And that's for me, I guess,
Yes,
unless Austin wants to run my business, which I'd be happy for him to do. The vision is really what the business is about is a new form or a new way to customize and personalize consumer products. And our platform combines a patented, what we call infinite swap technology, where you can swap images off of any product. And it's not like stickers or some things that people might be used to. It's turning everyday consumer products into really high quality consumables. And then we've also developed a proprietary digital content platform. So what we do with the products, people are getting very used to using QR codes in restaurants and other applications. So we take our products, and through the use of QR codes, we can scan to changeable digital content. So essentially, we're turning the consumer products into multimedia customized collectibles, which is something very new. So the idea is it's early. It's a product that people have never seen before. So really the vision is to build it out in multiple markets with multiple products, leveraging our patented technology, and to make it into really a staple consumer product that people want to have with them all the time, because it connects through the customization, and the personalization connects people with what they're passionate about, whether it's a sports team, gamers, music, family, it could be anything.
Wow, that's amazing. So you have ventured into something which is new and innovative and can be a game changer for every brand out there. Because I think every brand needs to strike a chord, and I think that is only possible when a consumer is able to actually experience that brand a little more. I mean, it has to become like, when we talk about Nike, it's like just that slogan comes up to our mind. And when we think about brands like Apple, Think Different, all those things. So I think what you have built is something amazing. Moving forward, I would love to.
Go ahead. Just to interrupt. It's because you're exactly right. It's about creating engagement between the brand and the consumer, and keeping that engagement fresh, and where the consumer really enjoys the product, as opposed to certain consumer products which have become kind of stale and doesn't create that engagement.
Absolutely. And as like the world that we are living in is so dynamic, and I think consumers have a lot of choices. Like, they have their smartphone, their tablet, and they're surrounded by digital gadgets. And I think now more than ever, consumers are consuming content which is not just created by experts, but by everyone. And I think brands have a huge role to play in kind of creating that content that resonates with their end consumer, and which can have a phenomenal impact in terms of sales, and kind of creating that basically that stickiness with the brand. So I think Stephen, what you have built is phenomenal. I would love to, when we come back, probably you can show it to us, a little demo of it, what you have. So let me quickly go to Austin in the meanwhile. And Austin, you have built something which is phenomenal. Titan brands have within that umbrella, 4 unique brands. How do you distinguish Titan brand vis-a-vis the competition? What is that one line that probably you would like to convey to your target audience and kind of convey that distinction?
Yeah, so I guess for us, we just want to deliver those premium products without that premium cost of entry. So that would be our biggest kind of tagline there. We want to deliver, the highest quality products that we possibly can without charging an astronomical margin for people to be able to experience these products. We truly believe that without our company, that there are a lot of products that we offer that people would never be able to afford to buy. So that's what our kind of mission is.
Okay, so it's cost and quality, both aspects. Okay, that's great. Amazing. Austin, as an entrepreneur or as someone who is running these brands as a D2C brand, what is that you have already established your business, you already have reached a certain stage, inflection point, but what next? How do you think that the next level of growth for your business will come from? What is there anything unique that you're planning to do for your products in order to make those products like loved by the audience? Let's say you already have an X amount of audience. How are you going to add that X plus delta? Where from, like, the next set of audience, where are they going to come from? Are you trying to do something unique in terms of marketing, maybe next year or this year?
Really over the next 24 months, one of our brands is a fitness brand, and we're really trying to push into the technology space with fitness. I mean, a lot of companies starting to gamify the way that they work out. They're starting to add different aspects of technology. If you look at the way that Peloton, added where you can race with all your friends or whatever on their platform.
Right.
We're really looking to push into something similar to that. I don't really want to get too much into it, but we are definitely heading into that space.
Wow. Excellent. So there's a master plan for that. Amazing. I think fitness is going to be the next big thing. And I think every other tech company is trying to venture into that space, especially what Apple or Google is trying to do with the data that they're getting from the smartphones or the other devices. It's really going to be a game changer. I think the future is going to be phenomenal. I think currently what's happening, the consumers are hardly able to utilize the data that they are generating. But moving forward, I think these digital gadgets will allow consumers to kind of utilize that data and have a personalized fitness regimen, maybe. I think that will become the norm going forward. So I think Austin's brand is going to do something phenomenal there as well. Stephen, would you like to show us your product? We would love to see that.
Sure. Yeah. Based on what I was saying before, one of the challenges we have is for people to understand what we do. And it creates marketing challenges just in how we go out and promote the product. So I thought what I would do is share quickly, I'll do this in a few minutes, a few slides to try and communicate what we do. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yep.
So hopefully you can see that. So you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So the way we've tagged this is about reimagining consumer products and bringing the consumer products to life through our infinite swap patented platform and our proprietary, what we call a .live digital platform. And I'm going to go through these slides very quickly. The problem it solves is really creating new customization solutions and, as I mentioned before, connecting people with their passions in multiple markets. So the swap technology, which we have multiple patents on, is a way of, I can hold up my phone, is a way of taking a product like a protective phone case and swapping the images on the product. And what that does is, because we print right on the media itself, it creates very high quality printing, very high quality products, in addition to be able to swap out the designs and create customization and personalization. So I'm just going to go through some of the products. So you can see this is for World of Warcraft, one of the Blizzard Activision properties, where we'll sell a set, which will be a case and what we call multiple swaps. And then we have a consumable element where we can sell consumables as people collect swaps. So you think trading cards and any NFTs and any kind of collectibles,
Yeah.
we're bringing them to the products. And some of our other products, we have wallets that you can put on the phone, bag tags. This is a collection we've done for a major European football club. We have these frames you can put on laptops or tablets. And the interesting thing about this product is simply there's no glue, no stickiness. So instead of putting a sticker on that leaves residue on the end glue, the frame comes on and off and you can move it around from product to product in addition to changing the messages. And then we do it on headwear, which is pretty cool because we print on fabric, so you can change the image on a hat, and one hat can become multiple hats, which has a bit of a sustainable element to it also.
Yeah.
Same on bottles. This is just a sample for Man City, another major club. And then the digital platform where we can link to e-com, YouTube, augmented reality video, or augmented reality 3D. You can see here a venture we're doing with Big 3 basketball. We've connected the QR codes to different things. And this is just a demo. You can actually scan this screen from your phone. And here we'll link to the Big 3 com store. Here we'll link to Ice Cube, who is the founder of Big 3, explaining the rules. And here there's some fun AR video content.
Great.
So that's it in a nutshell, and there's a lot to communicate. So when we're on a website, our website or a partner website, there's a lot we have to talk about to get across, because if it's mixed in with other products, the distinguishing characteristics need to be communicated. And we do that. We try to use a lot of video and animation to do that. But that's one of our challenges. So that's about as quickly as I can go through our platform.
Wow, that's tremendous, I must say, Stephen, because I think that can be a game changer in terms of the use cases. The more we think about, the more use cases can come up, and it can tremendously help any D2C brand out there. And because I think now more than ever is a time of innovation, and consumers, I think AR and VR is going to become the norm in the next 5-10 years, as smartphones are becoming way too fast with the processing power that can beat the desktops of the past. So I think we are living in that era. So great. I think this is an excellent tool that you have built.
We're finding a lot of interesting applications as we go forward. So we're building on new product ideas and new applications in different markets. And to your question about the 10-year vision, we're really just starting to scratch the surface. There's a lot of licensing implications and things we could do in the business as well.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, it has its own set of opportunities, I can say. And yes, as you said it rightly, you just started. So yes, sky's the limit. Amazing. Austin, as a brand owner, as a custodian of Titan Brand, what do you think is the future of D2C brand? I mean, so we are accessing e-commerce sites, we are accessing mobile application of a brand, but as per your own experiences, how do you think the consumers will experience the stores of the future? What are your thoughts?
Experiencing the stores of the future, I do think there will be like a VR element to it, to where people could put the products in their home. I mean, Amazon's already doing that quite a bit, but I also think that there needs to be an element to, look, touch, and feel. They want to kind of incorporate how something's going to kind of operate in their home versus just how's it going to look. I don't really know how they're going to come up with that, but I do think that is definitely a wave of the future that, before somebody makes the purchase, that they want to, somehow experience it without having to make the commitment to purchase it.
Okay, wonderful. So VR, that's what you believe. Great. And your brand has several products. I mean, you have a huge SKU size of more than 2,000 products. So how do you make sure that your consumers are able to kind of experience those products? Because most of the time when a consumer lands on your store, let's say from a marketing campaign on Facebook or Insta or other channels, when they land, how do you make sure that they find the right product in the least possible time? Because people may not scan through each of the products. So how do you tackle this challenge so that you can convert your visitors into like buyers, like first-time buyers, and then into repeat buyers? Are you doing something in that direction?
I would say it's basically the basic stuff, just using SEO to make sure people get on the right products that they're looking for, different marketing tactics. Our content on our pages are pretty good. We're upgrading those every single day. We have, for our tractor attachments specifically, we have a will it fit your tractor and some videos that it can point to see how those things operate. But yeah, we try to be as descriptive as possible in our content and our product descriptions to make sure that somebody makes the right decision. Our return rate is very low to be a direct-to-consumer brand.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. So you are taking care of all those things like the experiences and to make sure that the consumers get the best information when they reach your store. Amazing. Stephen, as a brand owner for your latest venture, I think this is a great tool. So have you laid down any like a go-to-market strategy or business? Like what are your strategies to kind of up your game, basically? I mean, basically how you want to make it more commercial for adoption, because that's going to be the key in attaining growth that you're looking for. So what are your plans for growing the business?
Yeah, it's a good question. And some of it is driven by how we are capitalized, because we have not brought in venture or institutional money. So it's really been more, I'm not sure I want to say bootstrap, but we're not working with an unlimited budget, which affects your D2C strategy, basically. So the way we approach this is a few ways. One, generating proofs of concept in different markets. So if we take gaming, for example, we're working closely with Blizzard, and we'll be working with Activision shortly as well, I hope, and using their games as a way to prove out our main thesis in terms of connecting gamers with their favorite games through a variety of products. So that would be the case in the gaming industry, in sports, working with major European football clubs, and starting to work with some of the organized US sports leagues. We would try to do the same with proof of concept, and the same with music and entertainment, et cetera. And putting up our own do-it-yourself tool on our site, you can upload your own photos of family and create your own. So it's a whole range of ways people could connect. The other thing that's super important is we try to leverage our partners. So if we're working with brand platforms like a Fanatics or a Legends, which host a lot of third-party sites as well as have their own properties, leveraging their social media, which is a much more cost-effective way to go to market and generate consumers and start to build that consumer foundation. So it's a strategy of creating the proofs of concept, but also being smart about social media, because it doesn't, our price points, it doesn't work well as a basic D2C business where you're going on Facebook and Instagram and you're paying for clicks or paying for leads. It's not that kind of business. The faster you grow, the faster you go out of business because of all the money you would spend. So we have to be smart about the marketing. And then last thing I'll say is channels like TikTok are helpful because they really incentivize creator organic content. So you can get your customers to post, and if their algorithms work correctly, you can generate traffic and customers that way. So we have to be smart. We have to be smart, clever, disciplined about how we build the business. But because we have a low sort of overhead, we can start working off our own products at very low revenue levels, which helps as well. So it's not like a typical software business where you have to really be investing millions of dollars to stay ahead of the curve. With us and become profitable pretty quickly.
Wonderful. Those are excellent strategies, Stephen, I must say, because I think because the product that you have has an exceptional, what you can say, a stickiness to it. And for that to happen, I think the brand that you're going to work with, they need to understand the importance of it. I mean, the significance of it, and then they will be able to derive more value for it because it's a technology, and I think the applications can be multiple. I mean, I think what probably you might have thought of, there can be a number of applications going forward. It's just the tip of the iceberg, as you said it earlier. But I think that's an excellent business strategy, I must say. Austin, as a Titan brand has 4 sister brands within it, and so how do you cross leverage? I mean, basically, do you find any kind of relationship between consumers who use one of your brands and then go for the other brand? Have you experienced something like that, or are you able to utilize that? Any experiences that you would like to share? Because I found it very interesting that someone who gets to know about Titan brands and they discover about Titan Fitness, will they look for any other as well? What are your experiences?
Yeah, so as of right now, we've built them pretty much just vertically, whole new customer segments for each different vertical. We started to kind of cross-pollinate between them. We found some synergies within, obviously, the tractor attachments line and the Titan Outdoors line. We offer some shooting targets. We offer, teak furniture, fire pits, pretty much everything like that. So there is some synergies there, but we haven't really pushed it as of yet. That is definitely a strategy going forward to kind of cross collaborate between the brands.
Wonderful. So you are able to find that. So that's good, because I think it's ultimately all about driving down the acquisition cost, customer acquisition cost, because as you grow, I think the marketing budgets, if you keep on stretching it, and if the customer acquisition cost is going to go off the roof, it's not sustainable for the business. So I think a lot of businesses are trying to do something very, very unique. So I think your business has that advantage. My next question is around marketing for the future. I mean, we are living in 2021, and of course, technology is changing very rapidly. So what do you think will be the future of marketing? Will it be brand-driven content? Will it be user-driven content? What are your thoughts? I mean, because you guys have already built and established your brand presence. So how do you look at it in terms of the marketing aspect? Austin?
Yes, for us, it's interesting. I feel like the traditional channels are pretty diluted. It's very difficult to break through all the noise of all the companies that are out there. I mean, especially with the pandemic that went on, everyone pushed to e-commerce or getting their site up and running. It's interesting. I was out west a few weeks ago, and this pretty large company had gathered up several Instagram influencers or social media influencers, and they were paying them a ton of money just to go out and do crazy stuff. They were doing rope swings, they were doing base jumps off of cliffs and stuff like that. And then, they had this elaborate party, that we were able to go to. So it was very interesting to see that some of the larger companies are starting to take these pockets of people and just pay for their experiences for them to, video it, put it on social media, and then just start to mention their brands in that. So I think that there'll definitely be an aspect of that in the future. People like to listen to other people that they follow or that have like-minded interests versus just getting ads pop up all the time. So,
wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's something very, very. It's a growing phenomenon, and I think everyone it's catching up, and I think it's gonna grow very rapidly going forward. How about you, Stephen? What are your thoughts? I mean, how do you plan, because I think your product is definitely something that the user can utilize and then come up with content, can be a game changer. Of course, you are like B2B2C, that kind of product that you have. How do you look for your brand or for your product to market? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I look at it 2 ways. One is the content we create as marketing material, and I follow this pretty carefully, but video content, AR content, demonstrably increases engagement and conversion. So I think you have to serve up very content that's going to get people's attention, but also in an authentic way. You really have to stay away from is that line between looking too commercial and just too packaged, opposed to something that's just fun, engaging, informative. And the other side is really leveraging organic content from your customers, which I think is really, really important. That if you can get your customers talking about you, posting about you, that's the best way. It's an overused word, but for things to go viral. TikTok, it seems to do well on that if you can get something going because of the way their algorithms work. But there are other ways to do it as well. But I think on the influencer side, using micro and nano influencers, people with small but very focused interests, is also a cost-effective way to market. So I don't think it's one thing, but I think it's a combination of things. But I agree with Austin. You have to stay away from marketing medium that's just either too saturated or it's just going to be there's not going to be an ROI on it.
Very true, very true. And as you said it very rightly, it's always finding that distinction and utilizing the channel so that you are able to kind of convey your brand and like what is the uniqueness about your product. Excellent. Gentlemen, my next question is around brand building. I think brand building is basically a big, what you can say, a effort which is time driven. You have to do it consecutively over the years, and then probably you become a brand. And I think that's when people kind of discover about you. And yes, it takes its own time, its own effort, unique marketing strategies, working with partners. So as Austin, let's say in case of you as Titan brand, let's say if it has reached a certain number of audience, let's say, what do you think? I mean, what is your vision that, let's say, out of the 300 million people out there in US, how many people would you like to reach in the, let's say, next 10 years or next 20 years? I mean, I know this is a very different question, but why I asked you is because the product can touch the lives of the people and can bring about that change, or it can impact their lives in a very positive manner. So what do you think? How many audience that you would like to touch? Like someone, like let's say out of 300 million, is it 10, 50? I mean, what is your pick?
So our whole product category and kind of brand vision is to appeal to the masses. So we want to touch as many people as possible. I mean, you can see our 4 different brands, they're vastly different from each other. Yeah. So we are trying to absolutely touch every corner of the marketplace. I mean, even we're pushing to go international as it sits now. And like I said, our products are for that savvy individual that doesn't want to overspend on a product. Yeah. That they don't have to. They just want the good, quality to step out of it and the functionality of the piece that they're purchasing. So if you want to tell people how much your fire pit costs, then our products might not be the right place. But if you want a good, sturdy product that you can save some money on your wallet share and be able to do other things in your backyard, then we're definitely the brand for them. So
wonderful, yeah. So everyone, okay. Well, I hope that I think it's doable, and I think it can definitely, it's achievable. Of course, time is something which we have to think about, but yes, it's doable. I think in case of Austin's brand, it's possible, and it's just the beginning. I think what you have established, it's always just day one, just like what Amazon keep on saying that though they are like in the business for 35 and more. They still say it's day one for them, and they continue to innovate, and that's how they're doing it, and they're making it like a habit. So I think building those habit forming products is something that add value is what consumers look these days. And I think now more than ever, consumers are kind of exploring products and exploring brands in more detail. They are always focused on what kind of products do they buy, or the brands that they consume or they utilize in general. what's the backstory. They're also interested in that as well. So, gentlemen, I would like to have this next round of question after the next 5 minutes. So I'm going to send you a fresh Zoom link so that we can commence the conversation on that link. I'll be sending you the next fresh link in the next 2 minutes right away. Okay. Thank you.
So you want us to get off now?
Yes, I will be sending you the fresh link via email. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Right. So, Stephen, my next question for you is around basically, you filed a patent for this technology. How do you think basically the patent gives you an advantage? And what do you think is the role of patents in these such kind of innovative products?
Well, it really depends. I think for us, the patents are a big advantage because they were granted really broadly on multiple. We have 4 patents that cover really anything with a case where you swap the images using permanent and non-permanent adhesive, basically. So there's a lot of know-how in what we do, know-how working with adhesives, different materials, printing, product development, but this really keeps people from imitating what we do. So for example, our patents cover adhesives and non-adhesives. So someone couldn't copy us by saying, well, we're using a different kind of quote unquote adhesive system. Mm-hmm. So we did a good job on the patent protection, and it's important with patents you build what they call a moat around it, because people can invent around a lot of different things. But I think we have a good amount of protection, in addition to a lot of IP and know-how in what we do. So I think it's quite important in our instance. It's not the case for every product and every company. Some things you can invent around fairly easily, but for us, I think it's been it's very good.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So it gives you that advantage and kind of helps you in accelerating ultimately, because the times that we are living in, it's so easy to kind of copy and like all the malpractices that are happening. But I think because yours is a very unique, it's an innovation in itself, because I think building a product takes its own time, and then commercializing it, bringing it to the market takes its own time. So it's ultimately the innovator should be like, it should find its reward, I think. And I think patent definitely helps. So amazing.
Yeah, the other thing I would say about it is it takes a little, even though we want to move quickly, it takes a little pressure off being the first mover.
Yeah.
Which is the case with a lot of businesses, because someone will come and beat you to it. This gives us a little bit, even though it doesn't take the time pressure off, it gives us a little bit more breathing room because of the patent protection.
True, very true. Stephen, my next question for you is like we have like 10 more minutes. So let's talk a little bit about you're going to do B2B and then B2C, basically, that model that you're playing with. So in your list of brands, let's say as an aspiration, who are the brands that you would like to work with and that you see can be rewarded with the product that you have built? I mean, let's say if you have to approach some brands, who would be those 2-3 brands that you think can utilize this and that can really help them? Maybe it can be very big, medium size, small. Who do you think?
Well, I can answer that a few different ways. Some of our products, as we refer to it as swap-ons inside, we can work with existing brands to help them create something new for their product. So if you think about the frame product I showed you, container companies, companies like OXO, Rubbermaid, Tupperware, who want to add an accessory to their products, can use our frames. The existing bottle manufacturers who want to create a new form of customization for their insulated bottles can work with us. So that's one element where we bring our technology to existing brand for their products. The second is working with big brands like the major sports leagues. They all offer customized product. They sell billions of dollars of, t-shirts and fleece and things that show off club logos and insignias.
Yeah.
With our product, you can, as you saw in some of the products I showed you on the slides, you can change that look. It could be home and away uniforms, it could be player numbers, it could be different images. So working with major sports leagues, major gaming companies, major music properties, we bring something very new to an arena where people want to collect product. And then, of course, the consumable element of what we do in terms of the additional swap packs keeps it fresh and lets people take a basic product, whether it's a phone case, a bottle, or a hat, and change it without having to buy a whole new product. They could just buy the new swaps. And then the third element is direct to consumer, where you can go and create your own. So if you're a new grandparent and you want a different picture of the grandchild every month, you can upload the photo and create your own. So there's a lot of different ways we can generate interest.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's amazing. I think because some of the use cases that you have shown earlier, like for let's say a football club, or let's say a movie which wants to promote, it's very rewarding. I think the experiences and the content that the consumers can actually access at their end directly on their smartphone just by scanning that barcode, or being able to interact with a particular, let's say, a character in their own environment that can have that impact. Basically, the brand recall can be really, really interesting, because from the use cases, I was trying to figure it out. And yes, I think for films also, it can be amazing.
Oh yeah, well, films could be trailers. You can also think about at a sporting event, the QR codes. You can have a few what they call golden tickets, where you scan it during the match. It's announced. You scan it, and a few people win prizes.
True.
So but even sports around the world, it could be in the U.S. It could be American football or baseball. It's European soccer. It could be cricket. Rugby, anything where athletes are celebrities, basically. So the applications are vast. The focus is an issue for us because there are really so many applications. We really have to focus on where we're going to devote our energies.
Very true, very true. Like, I think because the way consumers can access that barcode, and then you have a very easy way to measure, like, let's say if there is a audience size of 10,000, 20,000 people who came to watch let's say the football match. And I think if 5,000 people scan the code, let's say there are some lucky draws that they can get from one or two. I think that can be very rewarding. It will become more gamification of how the consumers will interact with your product.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Amazing.
And it creates advertising and sponsorship possibilities as well, because that space becomes valuable. So in that regard, we become a bit of a media company.
Wonderful. Yeah. Stephen, while we are coming to an end of this discussion, what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to, let's say, someone who is already doing e-commerce business or retail business, or somebody who wants to launch a business from your own learnings? What is that one piece of advice that you would like to give?
Well, if it was one piece of advice, I'd give two or three, but the one is, particularly in a startup world, you have to be incredibly persistent, because you have to, you rarely end up where you think you're going to end up. So you really have to keep moving. You have to pivot. You have to make decisions quickly. You have to be smart with your capital. It's very different than running, my experience running businesses with more scale, where it's not quite as important, but you have to be really disciplined and be opportunistic. Look for those ways to get out there and get recognized as a new brand.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this is an excellent advice, I must say, Stephen, because it takes time to establish a business, and absolutely you need to find those opportunities, and you have to be persistent. And I think this is a extremely important advice that you have given, and we would love to chat with you more in the future and learn more about your business. And I think let's talk about the use cases maybe in our subsequent conversation, especially if we have to take an example of, let's say, an apparel brand, how they can use your product, or for example, a sports brand, a sportswear brand, how they can use it, and how a jewelry brand can use your product. Because I think when we talk more about the use cases, it will be very, very rewarding for someone who is already running those businesses. Because I think traditional marketing channels are so occupied and so crowded that unless and until the brands create some kind of gamification, or what you can say, bring delight to the consumers, that brand recall won't happen. So I think your product and those use cases for these specific verticals, let's talk about that in our next set of conversation. So
Sounds good.
really
I'll
looking
look
forward
forward
to
to
that.
that.
Absolutely, Stephen. So
Great.
great. You have a great week ahead, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Take care.
Okay, thanks. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Stephen. Bye.